We will continue with another impactful keynote presentation on enhanced employee experience through cloud IT management by Karthik, Chief Evangelist, ManageEngine, who is the prestigious Gold Partner of the event. Over to you, Karthik, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Roger. I'm hoping you can hear me well.
Yes, we can. Loud and clear.
Yeah, great. Let me share my screen and share the presentation as well. Is this visible?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Roger. Um, Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak at East Africa Hybrid Cloud and Cybersecurity Summit 2022. And it really feels so good to be associated with you and your team again. And before I begin, I just wanted to thank Shipo for an insightful session on zero trust and how SOSE's new vector is going to help organizations enhance their security. Being in an environment where we have hybrid cloud architecture, multi-cloud architecture, and things like that, I think security is a major concern for every business and every organization. So, as the world braces for an hybrid work environment, the success of a business largely depends on employee satisfaction. In this era of digitalization, space and culture do not have such an impact on employees as technology does. So, organizations must leverage the advantage of cloud technology coupled with IT management vendors to provide an enhanced experience for their employees, and hence the topic enhance employee experience through cloud IT management. So, why is it important? Why does it matter to organizations? It has been found that improvised employee experience leads to increased happiness in them, and that in turn leads to increased productivity and performance. If anyone feels that being paid well is a satisfactory factor to work, they are going to be proved wrong quickly as financial incentives are no longer lucrative. If an employee is unhappy over something, that decreases the productivity by way of absenting, and happy employees work more, thereby increasing the productivity by 20 to 25%. And lastly, it helps to build a strong work culture, which is going to stay for long, that impacts business categorically and strategically. So there are three major pillars of employee experience: space, technology, and culture. Space is no longer a major factor thanks to the pandemic, which brought in the hybrid work environment. And quite a few organizations that I've come across have been working from home even today. Though it is a proven fact that face to face engagements still hold the productivity quotient for your business, at least uh, for the next couple of years, we must live with this hybrid work model. The culture is something that gets built over the years and is gross rooted from your long lasting employees. We are now left with the technology, which, when used wisely, enhances employee productivity and experience. Over the last couple of years, we have seen major advancements in technology thanks to digitalization. Hyper automation has taken over automation and robotic process automation. Zero touch services and management is the next step for machine learning and artificial intelligence. Cybersecurity has seen extend into all parts of business like cybersecurity mesh, data fabric, XDR, and so on. And in fact, the previous session, Chepo was highlighting the importance of zero trust, which actually is now a part of cybersecurity. Cloud has seen tremendous growth, and organizations are looking to move towards hybrid cloud environment and cloud native solutions through microservices architecture. So, in order to provide a better experience and uninterrupted services for your employees, you must monitor the resources 24 by 7, 365 through a sustainable, resilient management system that is either on premise or on cloud. While it is evident organizations invest in cloud to reduce space and infrastructure costs, moving the IT management service to the cloud will save much of your OPEX and CAPEX. And examples of such IT management services, which you can think of moving to the cloud quite easily, is the enterprise service management, IT operations, which includes monitoring your AI ops, DevOps, network infrastructure, network ops, server ops, application ops, everything put together. And you can also think of moving your endpoint management and security to the cloud, along with security information event management, wherein you actually need a lot of storage for maintaining your logs and events. So organizations go low on disk space, and that's when you want to move to the cloud, where a vendor provides you with the log storage for audit and compliance purposes. And finally, you can also think of remote IT assistance in an era where we are actually trying to work in a hybrid environment. So the first one is about enterprise service management, where you can think of extending the ITIL concepts like incident problem change management to other departments within the organization, like other enterprise service functions like HR, finance, travel, and much more. And it's all the more important to keep stock of your assets and understand the relationships that each assets have with the others. And that's where you build a CMDB relationship. You also have to know how much of the space is available for new employees to join, and how can you even utilize the space effectively. Intelligent automations for ticket assignment, asset discovery, SLA escalation is something which you have to look out for. You don't want someone to manually sit and escalate a ticket or manually sit and assign tickets to your technicians. And quite often it is important for you to promote self-help through the self-service portal. And AI-enabled service management and service management data analytics is something which organizations have to look in for enterprise service management. Moving forward, when you have to talk about AI ops, DevOps, or network operations, server operations, and application operations, all put together, we call it as IT operations here. You need a robust system which can help you monitor your website, understand the performance of these devices, which actually contribute to a service, and you actually have to look in for service availability as well. You have to understand the root cause of failures, and it's just not enough if you can identify the root cause. You also have to have an option to rectify them. Say, for example, if something goes wrong, you may have to restart the server or a service and reboot or you have to refresh the data store, or probably you have to shut down a VM or stop a VM. So such corrective actions has to be part of your network operations management system. And when the world is talking about total experience, you also have to look in for vendors who provide you with real user experience monitoring. So your users can access your services from anywhere within the world. So how does these services react and function from different parts of the world? That's exactly where you actually need some synthetic transaction analysis or a real user monitoring of your services. Endpoint management and security. As we move towards this hybrid work culture, your employees can work from anywhere within the world. So you have to have a similar configuration for all your laptops and mobile devices. Push patches, have the same set of security exposure to all the devices. So which means that if there's any CVE which is identified, common vulnerability and exposure which has been identified in the software, it has to be patched immediately on all workstations and laptops. And if there is a specific software which has to be present in all laptops, you have to push it immediately. So you just don't want the user to come to your office and then install it. So you don't want them to wait for any software to be installed. And similarly, when it comes to security, you have to look in for a vendor who provides all these kinds of security-related enhancements like application control, where you do a whitelisting and blacklisting of applications, data loss prevention. How do you even stop data being transferred from your laptop to third-party devices? It could be even through to softwares as well, like email, or if someone is trying to print it out, how do you even stop such activities? Device control, browser control, where you have to manage all the extensions, plugins, and add-ons for all the browsers alike. It could be Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, Mozilla, and as such. Anti-ransomware, and also look at managing the vulnerabilities which have been reported on these laptops and workstations. And you also have to mitigate them. And EDR is no longer a technology that we will have to focus on. Probably you have to look in for extended data detection and response, all put together in a single console. And also you have to keep in mind that zero trust is where everything is going to drill down to. So you don't trust anybody who comes into your network. SIEM, with increased storage volume due to increased number of users, increased number of customers, your log volume and size gets increased, and that's when you will have to look in for a vendor who provides you this log storage, so that you will be able to pull out reports anytime when it comes for an audit. So this vendor who provides you this SIEM on cloud should mandate all your compliance requirements depending on the industry. It could be SOX, it could be GDPR, it could be PCI DSS, and so on. And you also have to look in for UEBA functionalities, where you look in for user entity behavior analytics. If there is a deviation in the user or entity pattern, behavioral pattern, you associate a risk factor. The higher the risk, the more vulnerable the user or the entity is. And coupled with this, you have to look in for SOAR functionalities, security orchestration and automated response. So where these incidents are quickly identified and responded to and resolved as well. You don't just stop at responding it, you also resolve those incidents, security related incidents. And when it comes to remote assistance, you have to look in for, from a user perspective, as well as from a technician's perspective. For users, it's just going to be like troubleshooting their laptop or mobile issues, whereas for technicians, they have to take control, they have to enforce user privacy, they have to record the sessions for audit and learning purposes, and they also have to have controls on accessing the edge devices like routers, switches, firewalls, applications, and databases, and much more. And just now, as we speak, as things have moved hybrid, so as your business moves from work from anywhere, you also have to ensure the compliance is actually met depending on from where the user is going to log in into your network. And as I talk about all this, there's one particular technology that organizations have to focus in for, which is total experience. Total experience is a combination of customer, user, employee experience, and multi-experience. And we have number of tools for monitoring the customer experience and user experience. So probably we will have to focus more on how to enhance employee experience so that your customers are being served better, and there's always an employee satisfaction, which actually increases your business growth. So if you're looking for any vendor who can provide all these functionalities, all these services to be moved to the cloud at once, ManageEngine is going to be the answer. ManageEngine has got products across identity and access management, enterprise service management, unified endpoint management, SIEM, data analytics, and IT operations. So in case if you need more help on these products, reach out to me. And my email address and LinkedIn profile is being provided here. Do not hesitate to contact me anytime for any questions that you may have on ManageEngine products, or how these technologies like total experience or cybersecurity mesh or distributed enterprise or zero touch network and service management, these technologies, how do they even impact organizations, and how ManageEngine helps you brace these technology trends for a successful year in your business. Thank you so much, guys.
So thank you, Karthik, for your insightful and wonderful session and keynote presentation that you shared with us today. I hope you have a great rest of the day and continue to enjoy the summit. And I'm sure our eminent delegates have definitely benefited from your gracious keynote speech. Thank you
Thank you,
once again.
Roger. Thank you, Roger. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
My pleasure.